So Disney is going to be removing its movies from Netflix starting in 2019. Look, I'm not just making this up. There are stories about it. It just came out. So there's that one, and here's another one. And basically, it seems like what they're doing is they're launching their own Disney streaming service, and it's a bigger story. It's a big business story in itself, just because Netflix is a huge company, and so many people have it. How many U.S. subscribers have Netflix? I wonder. Let me see here. I'm gonna look this up. How many U.S. subscribers Netflix? Can I find out easily? Thought it was going to be easy. It says, it looks like 51 million subscribers. 51.9. It's about 52 million subscribers of Netflix in the United States. And they're pulling their movies they're pulling their movies from the service, and it's maybe even bigger than just Disney not having its movies on Netflix. If they do this, do other studios start doing this and saying, hey, we got to have our own streaming channel too? And if that happens, is there basically just like no more Netflix? Because why do you want to buy Netflix anymore if everybody starts pulling their movies off of Netflix? So this isn't just, it's a big issue just for people who have Netflix and they like Disney movies, but it's also a maybe even bigger issue for the service Netflix. Now also, I wanted to check, Netflix stock was down today, and I want to do a quick check of this. So give me a second here. Let me pull that up, and I'll show you. So, I see. This is quite interesting here. Check this out. So I have the Netflix stock chart up here. And what you can see is what's happened is, so this news, it seems like it came out like right after the market closed today. So this is the 1-day chart. And you can see what happens is for the day, Netflix was down 1.6%, but that gray line there is what happened after hours. So if you look at after hours, it should say, there it is. So there you can see below. You can see actually below where it says down 2.97, 1.64%. It says after hours toward the top of your screen. After hours, it's down 3.57%. So if you add those together, you're getting like a over 6% drop in Netflix today between what it dropped during the day but the big drop, you can see it took a huge drop in after hours trading, and so. That's not, I guess, I don't know the technical stuff around this, but it's basically, the market's not open, but there's still some trading that happens after hours, and you can get a read on what the stock's going to do tomorrow by looking at its after hours trading. After hours, the stock is way down. So investors do not think this is good for Netflix. We'd like to hear what you think about this. And just so you know, the details are a little fuzzy in terms of like, I heard that they're definitely pulling all their new movies from Netflix. Where can I find that tweet for you? Hold on, I had that right here. Pull content. Where is it? Yeah, I'm seeing there's a bunch of tweets like this where people are reporting it's pulling its movies from Netflix, it's starting its own streaming service. This person says company is lost. Who is Clay Travis? Well, they're like an author, so I don't know about that. But different people are reporting this. But so I definitely heard that they're going to pull the new movies from Netflix. And also, Netflix does this, they do this thing where like if a movie's out, my point is I'm not sure about like the old Disney movies. Are they pulling those from Netflix too? I'm not sure. But the general idea I got is that the recent movies and like the new movies that are to be come out, they're going to not be on Netflix at all. I'd like to hear what you think about this. I'm sure some of you subscribe to Netflix out there. So what do you think? Like, does losing the Disney movies make you, so this is going to happen in 2019, will this make you not want to pay for Netflix anymore? Do you care? Do you think like eventually all these different studios are just going to have their own channels and they can make more money that way? A problem though is, here's another problem. The thing about Netflix that people like, one thing people like, is that they can get all their, lots of movies from different studios everywhere. If Disney pulls their movies and starts their own streaming service like they say they're going to do, so I assume that's going to happen, and if other studios start doing this, then is it going to be too expensive to start paying for each service? If you're going to have to pay for the Disney service and the MGM service and the 20th Century Fox service, and by then you're no longer paying, $8 a month. You might be paying a lot more than that a month. So that could happen. I also see this as possibly maybe one day a problem with like Spotify music service. So I subscribe to Spotify now, and it's great because I pay, $10 a month or whatever it is, and I get like basically all the recorded music that's out there, or most of it. But what happens if one day Sony Music says, you know what, Spotify, we're not letting you use our music anymore. We're going to have our own channel. And then every music label has their own channel. I'm not going to want to spend on like every single music label's channel, their service, because I don't even, I want all the stuff in one place. But this is really big because Disney movies, of course, are really popular. And is this a sign that, Netflix, which is the whole point of Netflix, is to take all these different movies from all these different places and all this different programming from all these different places and give you like your one-stop shop for it. If networks and studios start pulling their content from Netflix won't have any programming, or won't have nearly enough programming to make people want to pay in addition to paying for like the Disney streaming service. So it seems like this could really change streaming video, especially if other companies start doing it. But anyways, this really just came out, and there's very little even I went to the Wall Street Journal earlier, and they had nothing even on their site about it. It's that new. Let's see if I can find what's on the Wall Street Journal website right now. So that's their front page, and I don't see anything here on their front page about it. If I keep going down, maybe they have some article up about it, but that's how recent it is, and that's how little it was anticipated that the Wall Street Journal isn't even reporting on it yet. So it's just happening now. It just came out, and we want to hear what you think about it. So what are your thoughts on Disney pulling its movies from the Netflix streaming service? Write to me on Twitter @Lookner. Let me know if you have any thoughts on this. I'd be interested in knowing. I'm going to check right now. Joey Conzio says, pretty sure this will mostly only be an issue for parents who have small children. The Netflix original series are quite popular. So Joey makes a good point that Netflix does have original series which people like to watch. Now let me look up what some of those series are. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Hold on. I want to keep this on here. Do that. I meant to do it over here. Some of their series are. I'm looking. It's House of Cards, Black Mirror. Although I don't know if that's original to them. Narcos, Master of None, Orange is the New Black, Stranger Things. So they have a lot of shows. Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. They have a lot of shows. That's an excellent point, Joey. Now the question is, though, will people be willing to pay the same for Netflix if it's just about their shows and they start losing different movie studios? Don't know. And maybe they'll just ultimately do their own. Maybe they'll ultimately just do their own programming. Richard French writes in, good, didn't much care for their PC crap anyway. That's from Richard French. Andrew Sova says, Steve, I already own all the Disney classics on Blu-ray. I'm good. Lawrence Miller says, read latest Netflix news. Good times ahead. I can't tell if Lawrence Miller is saying good because Netflix will go out of business, or good because there will be more streaming services. I don't know. Let me see if I can find you any quick updates about this while we're on the air. So really want to just come on the air and give you this update because we thought it was important news to some people's lives. A lot of people care about their video entertainment. I'll show you a bit of this Hollywood Reporter article, which says Disney said it will be pulling its movies from Netflix and will launch an ESPN streaming service. I'm not sure about that, how that service is going to work, that ESPN service. And we'll launch a Disney streaming service 2019. Okay. A strategic, Disney CEO Bob Iger called the initiative a strategic shift in the way we distribute our content. Let me just see if there's any update on their stock, how their stock is doing today. So their stock is, yep, it's down. You can see the gray part is where the after hours trading of Netflix stock, and it is down. If you add up the after hours and the during the day, it's down about over 4%. And I'm going to do also a quick check and see if there's any new news that came out about this while we've been on here. Also, a little sad news to report. I just saw as we were coming on the air, country singer Glenn Campbell passed away today. I believe he was 81. So that's a sad story. Very influential country singer. Daniel Miller says, no new releases will be on platform after 2019. Now, I will say this, let's say once, if I know Netflix produces a lot of programming, but do they bankroll some of that producing the programming, the money it takes, because it's expensive to produce shows? Do they bankroll that? They bankroll it with their subscription fees. If they start losing some subscribers, maybe not all, but some subscribers, because they're losing like content from Disney and perhaps other companies, does that affect how many original shows they can produce? Because they don't have as much money to produce the shows. Hi everybody on YouTube and Facebook, by the way, and thank you to everybody in the chat. Thank you to the moderators for moderating the chat. Now Mashable is reporting, they say that Disney is pulling all its movies off Netflix. That's what they say. What else do they say in their article? Let's see. So it's going to break up, developing its own platforms, reach consumers, its own streaming platform. I also wonder, they're starting they own ESPN, and they're starting a streaming service for that next year. Are they eventually going to pull ESPN off of cable and then start making you pay for their ESPN streaming service if you want ESPN? Don't know. I'm going through this article to just see if there's any more information about Netflix there. Didn't think I really saw. Kissett says, do we really give an S when there are so many more important things going on in this world? Hashtag MAGA. So, I didn't say this is more important than, say, North Korea, but we like to cover lots of different news stories for people, so we don't say every story we cover is literally the most important story in the world, but we want to cover news that's important to people in different ways, so that's why we're covering this story right now. Nicholas says, sad this is going to happen. I'm a big Disney fan. I love their movies. Kian writes in, Disney Life is already a streaming service in the UK. They don't have Disney on Netflix in the UK. Thank you, Kian, for that. If you'd like to make a comment, write in at Lookner on Twitter. I'd like to hear what you think about this. @Lookner on Twitter. Annabelle Onion says, this makes me sad. See if I can find anything more about this while we're on the air. Here's a story that's from the street and says, Disney's yanking its content off Netflix. Disney wants its own. Shares of Netflix were sinking over 3% in after-hours trading on Tuesday after the Disney company announced it would remove its content. Oh, this is interesting. Here's something quite interesting. Netflix currently has several original series based on Marvel characters owned by Disney, including Daredevil, Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage. Bob Iger, CEO of Disney, said those shows would continue to be produced in conjunction with Netflix, but this is important because that means in the future, presumably, Disney will not let Netflix do more original series with Marvel characters. So, maybe Netflix was like, we're going to keep making these series with Marvel characters, and now they can't, presumably, because Disney will any new series, Disney will just put on their own channel. Angel says, this is great news for our family. We don't support Disney. Lawrence Miller says, sent link. Big news, Netflix news came out recently. Lawrence, I haven't seen your link yet. Annabelle Onion says, have you mentioned that Disney owns Marvel? I literally just did. And yeah, so that's a good point too, Annabelle Onion, I'm thinking about now. Does this mean that all of the Marvel movies are going to be taken off of Netflix? There's all these big Marvel movies that have come out recently and that will be coming out. And will Netflix not be able to show? I presume that Netflix won't be able to show them now. I'm doing a quick search here. So, for example, here's some Marvel movies from 2017. I'll show you what I just saw. This story becomes even more interesting. So look at the Marvel movies just from this year. We have. Why is this so small? I want to make this a little bigger. The Thor movie, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Spider-Man Homecoming. I don't know what Logan is. Maybe I should. So, and I wonder what the 2016 movies were for Marvel movies. Captain America last year, Deadpool, Doctor Strange, X-Men. How about 2015? Avengers, Fantastic Four. So lots of Marvel movies, big movies are always coming out. And I wonder if it's going to say, what are the future ones here that Netflix won't be able to show? Thor, Justice League, Black Panther, New Mutants, Avengers, Deadpool 2. So all these movies are movies now that presumably Netflix won't be able to show. Oops, let's go here. So, we'll see what effect this ends up having on Netflix. It's going to have a big effect, not so much effect. Will other studios pull their stuff off of Netflix? Might it change the way you consume your television and movie viewing at home? We'll have to see. But we wanted to come on and cover it for you. We'll be on a few more minutes. If you have any comments, I'm happy to read them. Write to me on Twitter at Lookner, at Lookner. And if you want to, if you want to know about when we come out with future news videos, subscribe to us on YouTube and click the notifications bell. Follow and like us on Facebook, and you can follow us on Twitter at RSB Network. I'm on Twitter at Lookner, and I tweet about all kinds of breaking news, so you can follow me there. Aaron Williams says, people are paying too much for cable now. If ESPN leaves cable, people will forget about ESPN, hopefully. So you're saying if ESPN leaves cable, they'll probably be able to charge less on cable, and maybe people won't care as much. Or maybe there could be all kinds of changes, because right now a lot of people still subscribe to cable and they get all these channels on this one box, but a lot of people want to pick and choose more what channels they can get, and maybe we're going more toward a world where all these channels have their individual streaming services and you purchase each channel separately. Lawrence Miller just sent me a story saying Netflix, the streaming giant, has acquired Millar World, a comic book publisher. And now maybe they'll start making comic book related movies because they won't be able to show Marvel movies anymore and make shows related to Marvel characters like they've been doing. Don't know. Okay. All right. So we're going to, I think I'm caught up on all your comments. And I'll just do a little last check here to see if there's any more news that just came out about this. Oh, and also another thing to note is, and I'll show you right here, Disney's movies also include all of the Pixar movies as well, because Disney owned Pixar. So any of the Pixar movies will not be shown anymore on Disney, on Netflix after 2019. And I'm sure there's going to be lots of memes about this. So we have a Toy Story meme. We have, I presume that's Cinderella. It's sad to know how unfamiliar I am with some of the Disney movies. Here's, look, more memes, more Disney memes. Then we have this. So you get the idea. Nicholas says, Steve, Disney also owns Star Wars as a Disney. Oh, this is a great point too. Wow, Disney does own Star Wars. Disney also owns Star Wars. As a Disney fan, I will miss watching these classic movies from my childhood. So I'm not exactly sure. Oh, but presumably definitely all the new Star Wars movies won't be available on Netflix, and they're still coming out, and maybe the old ones won't be either. Certainly, I think the recent ones won't be, from what I can gather. So yeah, that's a lot of content that's getting pulled from Netflix. You have the Disney content, the pure Disney branded content. You have Pixar content. You have Marvel content. You have Star Wars content, all getting pulled by 2019 from Netflix. Wow, very big. David Richards says that was Alice in Wonderland. That's what David Richards said when I said it was Cinderella. I don't know. I'm sorry. At least I'm honest in telling you I don't know. Let's see. I'm looking at the YouTube chat right now, getting a feel for what people are saying in the YouTube chat. One of our viewers says, I just go to free movie sites where people upload the videos. Never use Netflix. Well, we're not going to endorse not paying for content. The content, you're on your own there. People are also talking about, David Richards says 20th Century Fox owns several Marvel properties. So maybe, does Disney own all of Marvel? Yes, they do own Marvel. I don't know if there are some older properties or some properties in the past that other movie studios have still or whatever, but Disney does own Marvel. Okay, I think we're going to wrap this stream up right now. And we just wanted to come on and do this, cover some important business news, which might affect you. Oh, I have a couple more messages. I want to read them. JC says, Steve, that's what Netflix gets for raising their prices. Hee hee. That's from our moderator, JC. Thank you. JC and Webster, I see you moderating in the chat room. Thank you. And Jacob Seals is in there as well. Aaron Williams says, it won't matter if we have an EMP attack. It won't matter if we have an EMP attack from North Korea by then, with a laughing emoji. That's from Aaron Williams. Okay, so we're going to, let me just make sure I'm caught up on all your messages. I think I am. Okay, so we're going to wrap this up right now. And this has been a little business news update from us here at Right Side Broadcasting. Wanted to come on the air and give it to you. And we will cover any other breaking news, big news that comes out in the next couple of days. Even if there are no White House press briefings, we'll be on the air with breaking news. But for now, For now, I'm Steve Lookner, and you can, again, subscribe to us on YouTube, follow and like us on Facebook. On Twitter, we're at RSB Network. I'm on Twitter at _Lookner. And also, we are viewer supported, so if you do like our coverage and you want to make a donation, rsbn.tv/donate, rsbn.tv/donate, because your donations are what keeps us on the air. But for now, let's see. For now, I'm just looking in the chat room. Thank you, everybody in the chat. And I see Real Frank is moderating as well. And everybody else in the chat, thank you, everybody on Facebook and YouTube for watching. Have a great rest of your day and great evening. And we'll be seeing you soon, whenever that is. Maybe tonight. If not tonight, probably tomorrow. Who knows? Have a good one. Thank you for watching.